Geography is wild. From human populations to natural forces, our world is full of surprises. Today, I'll be hitting you with 40 crazy geography facts that are so out there, they almost seem made up. So are you ready to be amazed? Kicking things off with number 1. If Siberia were to split from Russia and become its own country, it would immediately take the title of the largest country in the world by land area. Moving on to number 2. If we leave out countries with no forests at all, Oman is the least forested country in the world, with just 0.01% of its land covered by trees. Now for number 3, the Nordic countries, often viewed as super wealthy and developed, have a combined GDP that's less than half of California's. On to number 4. It's pretty simple but still mind-blowing. 7.2 billion people live in the Northern Hemisphere. Number 5. Switzerland, with a population under 9 million, boasts an economy that's bigger than Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Algeria combined, which have around 350 million people. That's pretty impressive. For number 6, the Amazon rainforest, primarily located in Brazil, is indeed vast. However, it pales in comparison to Russia, which boasts over 640 billion trees, more than double Brazil's estimated 302 billion. Canada also surpasses Brazil, having approximately 16 billion additional trees. Coming in at number 7, more than 70% of Kuwait's total population resides in a single city, its capital, Kuwait City. This represents the highest population density globally, excluding city-states. Number 8, the vertical distance between the world's lowest capital city, Baku in Azerbaijan, and the highest, La Paz in Bolivia, measures 3,668 meters. To provide context, this elevation is approximately 43 percent of Mount Everest's height. Number 9. Currently, more than a quarter of the global population is under the age of 15, amounting to approximately 2 billion individuals. Number 10. The Great Wall of China, in China, actually stretches further than the distance from London to Auckland and then over to Sydney. Plus, it's 3 times longer than the Nile, the longest river in the world. Number 11. Japan's southernmost point is actually closer to the equator than Dubai. But it's a bit of a stretch since that point is an uninhabited island over 1,000 kilometers from the mainland. Number 12. Jamaica holds the unfortunate distinction of having the highest murder rate globally, with 53.34 homicides per 100,000 individuals, translating to 1,508 murders in 2022, within a population of fewer than 3 million. Number 13. This fact is straightforward yet often catches people off guard. Rome, Barcelona, and Istanbul share a similar latitude with New York City. Number 14. The entire continent of Africa has a gross domestic product, GDP, that is lower than that of the United Kingdom, a nation with a population of less than 70 million, in contrast to Africa's 1.4 billion inhabitants. Number 15. The maximum distance between any 2 points in the United States is an astonishing 9,400 kilometers, stretching from Kure Atoll in Hawaii to Log Point in Florida, as the crow flies. This distance is comparable to that between London and Bangkok. Number 16. Luxembourg enjoys immense wealth with an estimated GDP per capita of approximately $120,000. In comparison, the United States, recognized as the wealthiest nation by GDP, has a GDP per capita of about $75,000. Number 17. Conversely, Burundi is identified as the poorest nation on the planet, according to the World Bank, with a GDP per capita of merely $293, making its citizens 433 times poorer than those in Luxembourg. Number 18. Nauru, recognized as the smallest country in the world, is merely 6 times the size of Central Park in New York City. Number 19. Canada is estimated to have over 2 million lakes, surpassing the total number of lakes found in the rest of the world combined. Number 20. When it comes to lakes, did you know the Caspian Sea is actually the biggest one out there? It's a lake despite its name, covering a whopping 371,000 square kilometers, way bigger than Lake Superior, which is the second largest, and doesn't seem so superior anymore. And yep, it's in Canada. Number 21. Vietnam holds the title for the least obese country in the world, with only 2.1% of adults classified as obese. In stark contrast, Nauru tops the list for the most obese country, with a jaw-dropping 61% of its adult population being obese. Number 22. Jakarta, Indonesia is actually closer to Perth in Western Australia than it is to Sydney, 3,000 kilometers compared to 3,300 kilometers. Number 23. Greenland is home to the largest national park in the world, encompassing around 1 million square kilometers. If this area were classified as a country, it would rank as the 30th largest globally. Number 24. The coldest temperature ever recorded in the United States reached minus 62 degrees Celsius, while the highest temperature was 56.7 degrees Celsius, resulting in a remarkable difference of 118 degrees Celsius. Number 25. The average person living in Monaco is 37.7 years older than the average resident of Niger, which is the youngest country in the world by average age. Number 26. Middle-aged can be a bit of a vague term, but let's say it's roughly around half of your country's average lifespan. In the Central African Republic, which has the lowest life expectancy globally, that means folks hit middle age at about 27 years old. Number 27. I think we can all agree that the countries topping the Peace Index are usually the wealthiest and most developed, right? But then there's the USA sitting at a surprising 129th place in terms of peace. Number 28. Only 3% of Africa's population is aged 65 and older, in stark contrast to 18% in Europe, marking the lowest and highest proportions for any continent respectively. Number 29. With a population density of 1,864 individuals per square kilometer, Bahrain holds the title of the most densely populated country in the world, excluding city-states and autonomous regions. When these are included, Macau, China, takes the lead with an astonishing density of 20,800 people per square kilometer. Number 30. You might think Indonesia or the Philippines has the most islands, right? Wrong! It's actually Sweden, boasting over 221,000 islands. Number 31. The distance from Asia's most western point to its most eastern point is over 8,000 kilometers, stretching from Cape Baba in Turkey all the way to Big Diomede in far eastern Russia. Number 32. When it comes to city proper measurements, China has 15 out of the 20 largest cities in the world by land area, with Chongqing being the biggest at 82,400 square kilometers. Just a heads up though, China has a different way of defining city boundaries compared to the rest of the world. Number 33, here's a fun fact that I really dig. France's longest border is actually with Brazil. French Guiana has a 730-kilometer border with the largest country in South America. If we're talking about mainland France though, its longest border is with Spain, measuring 623 kilometers. Number 34. Kiribati, situated in the Central Pacific Ocean, is unique in being the only country that spans all 4 hemispheres. Number 35. If one were to evenly allocate the total estimated economy of the Earth, which stands at $96 trillion among the global population of approximately 8 billion individuals, each person would receive about $12,000. Given that Africa's current GDP per capita is roughly $2,000, this distribution would effectively increase the continent's wealth by 6-fold. Number 36. China and Russia are tied for having the most land borders with other countries, but China takes the lead with its land borders stretching about 2,000 kilometers longer than Russia's. Number 37. A term which most people are unaware of is the pole of inaccessibility. It's basically the spot in a region that's the farthest from the ocean. For Asia, this point is in northwestern China, close to the Kazakhstan border. Number 38. The population of Hong Kong, which stands at 7.6 million, exceeds that of both Western Australia and Mongolia combined, an area covering approximately 4 million square kilometers. Number 39. If you've been to Dubai, you've seen how incredibly tall the Burj Khalifa is. It's the tallest building in the world. Now, picture stacking 10 of those on top of each other. That's the height of Mount Everest. It really shows how tough it is to climb the tallest mountain on Earth. Lastly, number 40. The most populous French-speaking city in the world is not located in France or Canada, but rather in Kinshasa, DR Congo. a megacity with an estimated population of around 17 million. In conclusion, I have presented 40 astonishing geography facts. Were any of these revelations unexpected for you? Alternatively, do you have your own intriguing facts to share? The Map Spy invite you to comment below. And as always, we sincerely appreciate your viewership. We look forward to seeing you in our next engaging video.